Hello everyone and welcome back to Clark Sports Cards. Today we're going to do a little bit different video. We're going to do a little bit of crack slab video. I know that there's a bunch of YouTube videos out there that shows you how to crack a slab and everything like that. And to get your cards if you want to resubmit it, sell it raw, whatever you want to do. My video is more for education on grading cards and what they saw, what we missed, or whatever. So I have two stacks. One of them is PSA and one of them is GMA. Now I know you're saying GMA, they really don't know what they're doing, but back in the day, that was probably like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whatever, that I submitted to GMA. Almost everybody was shut down during COVID and it was the only one accepting cards. So I sent in a bunch of lower to mid-tier cards at the time before the boom and just sent them out there and had them graded just so I could slab them a little bit. Now there's some that come up that I either wanted to regrade or I was like, you know what, let's just crack them and see what they saw, right? Same thing with PSA, right? Mainly PSA is I don't believe the grade, first of all. But we'll get into it a little bit, and you can be your own judgment a little bit. And if you like these type of videos, I'll do some more of them and stuff. But anyway, this is my take on them a little bit. We'll scan the cards and look at them a little bit. And you can determine. I went over each individual card and I'll give you my opinion as well of why it might have got that grade or why it shouldn't have got that grade, I guess you might say. So if you'll notice, I got the slab tops at the top of each individual card and what they graded, and I cut them. I use a reciprocating saw, or a scroll saw, basically I should say, a scroll saw, because it cuts right through the plastic and doesn't damage the cards. And I cut down the side of it, I cut the tops off, and I just pop it right open and slide the cards right out. To me, it's easier because I can just manage the scroll saw and go right down it real easy, but it does tend to melt it. As you can see from the bottom of it, it melts the plastic a little bit, but it's not too bad, but it does make a more defined line on it, and I can control it a lot better than when you get those snips and you see the videos where you snap them and, you know, the cracks could go everywhere, it could go into the card or whatever. I just feel like this is a more controlled way to do it. So if you got a scroll saw, might be a better way to do it. I don't know. That's just my take. That's what I do. But I don't crack too many slabs. This is the first one I've done, multiple ones just to see the comparison. Some of them I just got the PSA grade back not too long ago, and I was displeased with it, and we cracked them to see what they saw versus what I saw. The GMAs is just, for whatever reason, we just cracked them. Probably because I didn't want to keep it in the slab, or I just didn't believe the grade, and I'll probably resubmit it with PSA. So, but yeah, you can see, I will tell you that the PSA were harder to cut through the scroll saw. As you can see, this, you know, the top and then the sides that I cut into, a little bit tougher to get into than the GMA slabs. They're more of the plastic looks the same, but I can tell you right now, this is a much thinner plastic, the GMA, a little bit. Not much thinner, but it is a little bit thinner because the scroll saw go through it a lot quicker than the PSA. Maybe it's just a harder plastic too. I don't know. That could be the case. But we'll take these out of the way and get into the cards a little bit. We'll start off with GMA. I got them in the wrong order here. GMA, PSA goes over here. We'll start off with GMA. For the most part, I cracked some of these to resubmit. This one right here I cracked was a GMA 8.5, and I kept the top of them. As you can see, a 2019 Mosaic John Morant NBA Rookie Debut, which is exactly what this is. It's got an 8.5. Don't really see much at all with this card. You can even take it out of the plastic and kind of look at it. There is some, well, yeah, right there maybe that's it, right there, that little scratch in it. Could be what they got the 8.5 on. So I don't know how I missed that off. Maybe I thought it was a little fuzzball or something. Maybe that'll polish out too. It looks like it's going to polish out, but I mean, it's sharp corners, centering's real good on it and everything like that. The edges, it's got a little bit of burr right through there, a little bit, but overall, it's a pretty clean card. They graded 8.5, so you know that might be accurate. I don't know. Don't know whether I'll regrade that one or not. Then that was kind of like a tweaker right there. What I was going to do with that one, because it is a John Morant rookie. He still seemed to get pretty hot now lately, a little bit, but that was an 8.5. This one I'm definitely going to resubmit. This was a cracked GMA 8.5 as well, of a Trae Young. Contenders, pretty good little card. Not a real high-end card, right? But nonetheless, it's a I think this come from the Chronicles, I think it is, Rookie of the Year a little bit. So it's a nice looking card. I kind of like that card. This one has got a red border around the sides. I did see a small little dot right there, as you can see at this corner. I'm thinking that the worst case scenario, this would be a PSA 9, which would increase the value from an 8.5. So I might submit that one in. Trey Young, a good ball player, very good. So yeah, that might be one we resubmit. Don't know yet. We'll play it by ear. This one I probably will definitely resubmit. This was a 8, and this is a Ronald Acuna Archives. It got graded as an 8. I definitely think this is a good candidate for a definite 9 and possibly a 10. The only thing that I can see on this thing is the surface was real good on it all the way around. But the centering, as you can see, the back, a little left to right, thick. And in the front, it looks like the left to right is good, but the top to bottom might be just a little bit. But it looks like within 60-40 range to me. So is it got a shot at a 10? Maybe. I'd probably say like a 20% chance at a 10, but more likely about an 80% chance at a 9. Don't believe it's a GMA 10. So this one's probably one that I will definitely resubmit to PSA, because Acuna playing real hot this year, possible MVP candidate as well. These right here, they're mind-boggling to me. These both got 7s. And back in the day when these cards first come out, which was 2020, I was one of the first ones to hit the market. Sold a lot of them. I just kept this one, because of the 7. I'm like, I'm not going to sell a 7. Either crack it or give it away or whatever. But you can look at this card. Well, I take that back now. I do see a print line. I don't know if you can see it right there in the light, a little bit going across his forearm right there, his hand. It's going to be kind of hard to see because there we go. See it right there. It does have a scratch line going across it. Don't know whether that would be considered to be a 7, but well, I take that back. There's also a minor scratch line going down this. So when I get it in the right piece of light, I can actually see it a little bit. I thought this was kind of crazy getting a 7, but 2 scratches in it, surface, vertical, that and that. It might be a 7. So you never know. GMA might be on track with that. I don't know. Same thing with this one. Got a 7. So we're going to look at this one. Oh, and I think I see it already right there, that corner. Let's turn it over and see if this corner's jacked. Yep, you can see it right there in the right light right there. That corner's jacked. So here I am thinking the GMA. I was looking at this card. I'm like, man, it's a clean looking card. There's no scratches. There's no imperfections that I thought on this thing. Nice little crack. Now it is Isaiah Kokora, but is it worth resubmitting? No, I'll just cracked it just to see why this thing got a freaking 7. And they didn't miss that little corner up there. So that's probably an accurate grade, a 7 on that. PSA probably grade that as a 3 with their harsh record. So that's a little bit about GMA, and you can see they still had the little things right there with Isaac Akura and the Denny. So that's a GMA a little bit. So no surprise, no really hidden stuff in that. Might be some grade variance in that. I think the biggest one that I thought would be this Acuna. So this is all somewhat recent submissions from PSA. And this one is a gold Adley. PSA 8 is what it got graded. Now, I know this one didn't have any scratch because this is a recent submitting, and I wouldn't normally be able to see things like that. I will tell you, you probably see some stuff on this a little bit, but I'll tell you the main difference in this versus anything, and there's no scratches, nice clean surface all the way around. Well, there is some very, very, very faint scratches at the top, and it looks like those should polish out. Don't know, but I thought this would get a 9 for sure. I'll probably just sell this raw though, because I don't think it'll get a 10 just simply on the centering. As you can see, the top to bottom is a little thick, thinner on the bottom, top heavy. Left to right's a little off as well, but probably within 60-40 within the left to right, but the top and bottom is definitely going to throw it to a 9. So I was like, why gamble with a definite 9, no upside to a 10? So I probably won't resubmit this. I'll probably just sell this one raw. But this is an Adley gold foil that got an 8. So maybe they was pretty close to that. Maybe you could tweak it to a 9. Maybe the small little scratches up here threw it to an 8. I don't know, but that is an 8 that I got when I cracked it. So, all right, this is one here that we're going to get into. And I thought I looked over these cards pretty good before I done the video and didn't see anything. And when I first got this card and submitted it off, this was a very hot card. Shohei Ohtani, they got an 8, PSA 8. I cracked it because I thought this was definitely better than an 8. And you can see right there, there's the shock parallel, got an 8, kept a little name tag on it. Now, when I first looked at this, I thought that, man, there's a blotch there. There's a blotch here on the card. Oh, my goodness. But that's the way the card's made. If you look at all PSA 10s, they have that same indication right there. So that doesn't deter it from it. The surface is real clean all the way around. There's no scratches, and this is a chromium card. It's normal to get scratches, but it's a very clean card. No scratches, no print lines, or anything like that. At this top right, there's a small dimple in it right here. Just a small dimple right here. The top to bottom, a little off. Left to right looks perfectly centered. Top to bottom looks a little thin on the top and the bottom, but definitely within the 9 range. I don't know if this small little dot right here on the edge, and it's very hard to see. Maybe you can see it in different lights or something like that, but it got an 8. If he didn't have his problem with his arm right now, I probably would resubmit this for a definite 9, I feel. PSA 8 and give it another shot, or PSA 9, but the back is real clean as well. The centering is actually a lot better on the back than it is the front. But being that he's hurt now, I still don't know. We'll wait to see what happens in the off season a little bit if I want to resubmit this. But got an 8 on that one. All right. Ellie De La Cruz, another real hot card that I submitted in. This got an 8 as well. And we'll get into some of the crazier findings here in a minute. And comment below if you think I'm crazy on some of these, or do you think they're way off or spot on. I'd love to read the comments because I'm kind of curious as well what other people think. And I know you can't really see the card very well on camera, but this is what I'm seeing just looking at the card. Now, I don't think that this is a print line down here at the bottom that goes across. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I don't know. I think that's the way the sparkle in the background is a little bit, like a line of the cracked ice look. I could be wrong. Maybe that's a print line. I don't know, but you can see it goes straight across at the legs at the bottom. But it's almost like that's the way the card is made. But I don't know. It's hard to see. But I can tell you the top to bottom is a little off for sure. The bottom is a little thick, top is a little thin. As you can see, his head almost touches the top a little bit, and it's thick at the bottom. So I will give you that, but I thought it was a straight 9, and you see the top to bottom on the back is the same. Left to right looks good, just top to bottom. So an 8, if it's a centering issue only, I'd say it's a 9. I'd say it's probably 70-30, something like that, but we'd definitely get a 9. Now the question is that a print line? If that's a print line, then it's a correct grade of an 8. So I'll have to go back and do my research a little bit and see if I see that same line going across a lot of PSA 10s, because it almost looks like that's just the way the card is made, but I don't know. So that's that one for an 8. Might resubmit that, might not. We'll set that up at the top. I sent in a lot of Shohei's. This one got an 8 as well, which I was kind of disappointed in. This was his pitching one from the 2018 Topps, his base rookie right there. This one I thought was going to get a 9. And the reason being this top corner, I don't know if you can see it, but this top corner has got a small dot, as you can see right there. Got a small dot in it, white dot at the corner edge. Everything else pretty well centered, left to right, up and down. I thought it was a very good, clean card. It's like, depends how that little touch on the corner, if they say that's able to get a 10, or is it going to knock down to a 9, but I definitely feel it's a 9. That's why I submitted it in, and it got an 8. So it's amazing how you can see some of these older cards get graded an 8, 9, or 10, and yet they'll have these same imperfections, like a little touch on the corner or something like it, and they'll still give it a 10. But a newer card, if they have this small white dot up there, 9 automatically, or whatever. So just depends on the grader, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, 9 or 10. I mean, 8 or 9, I don't know. That's one of the borderline ones as well. Now, this right here is mind-boggling. This brand new just come out. You can see that's Michael Harris's base, and I thought I'd grade a few of those just to have them. It's got an 8. And I looked over these cards. I tried to get the best centering ones I was. You can see this thing is like perfectly centered on the card. Very good, very clean card. and it got an 8. So there's definitely something we're missing on this, or maybe the grader got confused with numbers. He's not maybe too good with numbers. I don't know, but this one's one I definitely looked over again, because I'm like, it's impossible for me to look over and miss something on a Topps cardboard, because it don't have many surface scratches, right? You might have some dots or something like that, printing dots or something, but this don't have anything at all, and it got an 8. And the corners are sharp, centering is good. I just don't see it on this one, but that's one that was mind-boggling me. I got an 8 on that, and I'm like, it's probably not worth resubmitting, because if they saw something that I'm missing somehow in their microscope or whatever, it's not worth sending, because it's just a base flagship. So I'll probably just suck that one up and just keep it or sell it raw or whatever. I don't know. This one, oh, and that was the Michael Harris 8 right there. So, all right, so this one opened up a bunch of the Monopoly, and this one got a 7. A 7. Apollo. This is one of my better center ones, as you can see, up and down, left to right, looks all good on this card. The scratches or anything like that you see is none existence on it. Okay, I do see something right here at the top corner now. You see that little dimple right there? That wasn't like that when I submitted it in. I don't know if that was part of handling or what, but you can see a small dent right there in this left corner edge. So I guess that is what knocked it down to a 7. I didn't see that when I was glancing over the card, but now that I look at it, you can even see it in the sleeve now, right over here, a little dent. So, okay, a 7. Yep, I don't think that was the way the card come, or when I sent it, but nonetheless, a 7, so maybe that somewhat is accurate. All right. Fernando Tatis, big in the market. This one got a mint 6. Now, 6, to me, when you're grading something a 6, it better be very apparent. Very apparent to me. It won't be something that you can miss. You can miss a 9 or 10, right? But a 6, we better see something. You see some 6s, some old cards that's got corners bent in. I mean, they're rounded real bad and stuff like that or something. But this one, it does have a few dots right over here. I don't know if you can see it, but a couple dots right there in the card. But the centering is good. Corners are sharp on it. And I'll tell you a little bit the reason why you can tell if the centering is good. If you got a little bit of gap over here at the glove to the edge, which you do right here, just a little bit of gap, that shows the centering is good on this Tatis. Same thing with the chrome cards. And it's got a 6. A 6. And I see down here at the bottom corner is rolled up now. And that is from putting it into a case. This corner got lifted, rolled up. You see it now down at the bottom right. That's definitely from putting it inside a case or a one of these, and it catching the corner edge right through there, because it's got these little ridges right here, laying it in there and then pressing it down, and that's what got that. So that was part of putting it into a encapsulation, basically. So great job, Panini. Thank you. I appreciate that. Here's my PSA 6 that you give me back on it. But still, is that worn to 6 on it? Even that the edge is lifted up right there? I don't know. You make the call. All right, last one. Kenneth Walker 2022. I want to grade this one just because it was a green mosaic. It got a nice 6. This is the last card, and we'll end the video. And comment below if I missed something, if you like these videos or whatever. But it's got a nice 6. These are hard to tell because they got that pattern, the mosaic silver pattern. But the corners and centering on this is very good. There's no scratches on the card. I'm kind of getting through the light on it a little bit so you can see it. This has got a 6, something that should be very, very obvious that you should see on this one. And I don't see any print lines. I see normal lines that's going through a card, like down here. This goes through it. That's just a design pattern and stuff like that on the card. I don't know if they saw that and seen that and thought it was a design flaw or something, but that's the way the card's made. So the corner's good shape, centered. no edges, no surface scratches or anything like that, no imperfections. Nice little 6 there, Panini. So enough of my soapbox. Just thought I'd crack a few of them, just show how I crack the cards a little bit. I know it's kind of a long, drawn-out video, but these were just some of the surprises. Some of them makes a little bit of sense now that I analyze it a little bit more, but there is some that I will resubmit, some of them that I'll probably, and some of them's not even worth my time, really, right? If you see something wrong with them, and it's kind of like a base card, is it really worth messing with? Some of these Shoheis I might. Adleys I probably won't, but some of this stuff like, you know, the Isaac Core and stuff for GMA is not. They just cracked that to see if I could see why it got a 7 and stuff, but some will be submitted. So, but I do appreciate you hanging around a little bit for the video. We'll start ripping some more packs here live on the channel. Thanks for viewing. Hit that comment below if you're a new subscriber. Really do appreciate it. Just a click away. And y'all keep on ripping. Clark Sports Cards out.